What's going on, you guys? This is World Nascar Champions here, and today I think I got a lot of requests on how do I make my NASCAR tracks. Um, Unfortunately, I've been off the radar for a while, and um, I'm trying to get back at it. So this is my Charlotte track, and I'm repainting this track gray for the asphalt. So um, as you notice, like if you saw that stop motion, I had the mini roval. It was really inaccurate, so that's why I'm repainting it so I could have the right measurements. Maybe I could do a roval race, but who knows? Like I'm trying to get the right measurements right. So my measurements for my first attempt of making the roval was very inaccurate. So I'm repainting that. But the track I'll be making is, I believe 2 years ago I made a racetrack called Candlestick Park, and I'll be guiding you on that tutorial how to make a World NASCAR champion track. So the first thing you need, well, it's optional, but I really like using a table. My table is 56 inches for length and then 33 inches for the width. So it's like 33 inches here, and then it's 56 inches from that end to the table to here. So I really love using the table because one, you're able to stand instead of like doing it on the floor where you're like hurting your back most of the time. I end up having back issues a little bit doing my Talladega race on the floor. I prefer table because you're standing up most of the time and it's just comfortable for me. So that's a little tip right there. But anyways, I'll be going to Home Depot right now and maybe a little bit at Walmart too as well. So I'll be right back. I cut it out, the cardboard pieces, and then cut the outline of my old Candlestick Park. And what I did is I traced the outline of it. I don't know if you guys, okay, yeah, you guys can see. I traced the outline of this so I could have the precise measurements and the similarities of this track. And you may be asking, like, why am I recreating this track? I really love this track. The problem is it sees its days, and you can see how bent this track is. Even if I try putting clamps on it, you can see how bent this is, and then how uneven this is. And you can see like how I don't like cardboards. Even if you try clamping it down, I don't really like cardboards. And you can see that downward slope right there. So this is gonna see its day. This is going to the recycling. And once you finish drawing the outline of this, now it's time to grab your ruler and start drawing on this track. But, however, you start off with pencil. Now, I won't be demonstrating the pencil part. I'll be demonstrating when I complete the Sharpie part. Alright, see you back then. Alright, so the next step is you must have a yardstick. Not a ruler. I do not recommend a ruler. There's a difference. The yardstick is durable and it's longer compared to a 12-inch ruler. Because then when you're doing your front stretch and your back stretch, the ruler, you're gonna have like weird measurements if you do like 12 inches here and to 12 inches to point A to point B. And so that's why I highly recommend using a yardstick. So I'll mark one 8 inches here, 6 inches here. And then now I know my marks works. Now since I would do pencil first before Sharpie, so trace your inner line with a pencil first, then you outline it with Sharpie. I forgot to mention, but when you do the turns here, the turns is just a very difficult part to do the inner line with the track, because it's not a straight line, it's a curved line. So what I do is I go to the end of the middle right here, which is like I said, 6 inches. Put your mark right here. I know I'm not lefty, I'm a righty, but you put a mark here. But then you wanna follow this the outer line. You wanna follow it and make marks on it before you sometimes you could get away with freehanding depending on how good a tracer you are. But like the more little marks you get, the better little lines of turns that you're gonna get. So it takes a trial and error, but it's where the benefit comes in. Alright, so now we change to the outside setting. This is not in my room. The reason why we're outside is because we're I'm ready to paint this. I have two paintbrushes here. One of them is 2 inches, the other one's 3 inches. But yeah, so the paint I use is acrylic paint. You can get this at Walmart. This one's the gray, there's just a little spill right there, but I've been using this for quite a while, and it's like almost empty. So, and for the grass, Christmas green, that's another one. And for the final one is just plain old black. I think I'm running out of this one, but I think I have some more inside of my garage. So I know this piece right here is my back stretch. This is not my front stretch. So what you're gonna do is you want to grab your 3-inch paint. I'm gonna like keep my distance from the camera because I don't want this thing to get wet. Oh, any minute. All right, there we go. It'll take a while to like. So you pour in the paint. See it right there. And I prefer painting over spray paint because painting dries better than spray paint, and then spray paint, it's stickier. So I prefer this type of paint over paint. So let that settle in. Grab your paintbrush, and then start painting it. Just light coats, not heavy coats, and then you should do that to the inner coat, the inside line, and then the main track pieces. So basically how many coats I do is I do like 3 coats. 1 coat, you wait until it's dry. It's not like, you can see a little bit more, you can see the brown because it's not completely dry, but you also want to keep this like smooth coats as well. Okay, we just finished 1 coat of painting. Usually I let this dry for between an hour or 2 hours because how heavy the coat I did for my first coat. I put in a lot of paint, and this paint I was using, it doesn't typically dry off in 30 minutes. Usually I wait for an hour and 2 hours to let this dry. A big advantage is that I'm painting outside, so there's more like air circulation coming in through. So this is like the painting after 1 coat, and you will start to realize like the track is starting to come alive instead of those pencil marks, because this is where the painting comes in. You can see between the black and gray, this is where the Sharpie comes through, because like when I start painting without the Sharpie, I usually like don't see the pencil marks because like how heavy the gray is and how heavy the black is. The black is very hard if you use a pencil, so I recommend using Sharpie. That's why I love using Sharpie. But either that, the track is coming to alive. Alright, so for your next step, after the paint is dry, you can see the black and the gray in there. This is where the correction whiteout comes into play. This is my favorite tool instead of using paint and redoing paint, because paint is a bit sloppy for me. But I prefer correction tape. This is my favorite tool. So what you need, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna correction tape the end of this gray paint right here and the black. So all you need to do is follow the turns, because this is where the black Sharpie, what I mentioned, this is where the black Sharpie plays the benefit, and it's gonna work out at the end. And there you go. That's how you do the white correction tape. It's very easy to do, and this is still my favorite. And you could tell like how thick the line is. It's not really big, it's not really small, it's just right for it. Alright, I just finished up painting. It is 1:15 in the morning right now, and holy jeez, this is a really awesome track that I just did right now. This is actually my first time doing a NASCAR track over a year, surprisingly. And I ran into a little bit of problems. Right here, this piece right here, it's 3 pieces. It's divided to 3 pieces, and this little triangle mark, this is like a little thing I could fix on. I could repaint that little triangle part into gray. No big deal. The black surface paint is different. So this one, the black and green is acrylic, but the black is actually gloss paint. And I didn't even know I was using it, but it turns out it turns out real nice, because it turns out a really nice finish for the black. And for some reason, I feel a little bit like when I do my stop motion races, I feel like there's gonna be like grip right there on that tunnel turn. Because remember, the fastest part of the track is this part, and it's that tunnel turn is like really awesome for passes. But the start finish line's right here, and the problem is that I don't really see pit road here anymore. But it's okay because I'll guide you like how I do my measurements to pit road. And I overpainted right here on this white line right here because I was repainting it. But it's okay because I could get the correction tape and fix it. But other than that, this is what the track will look like after you're finished painting. Alright guys, so after you finish the white out and the painting, now is what I do is I put up the walls first. So here is the weathering strip I use. The weathering strip is called Weather Seal, weathering strip seal, and this is one roll, 3/4 inches, 1/2 inches, and 10 feet long. But this is another bag. I usually use 2 for to make my tracks. But here's the thing. There's something under. Okay. But if you want, I say if you want. So if you don't want the plain black, you could paint it white. Now white takes up 3 coats for each side. So this is how many coats I have to do is 3 because the walls here for the sides is just it's very dark, and it usually takes up 3 coats in order to get the plain white. And here's the other side too as well. So that's optional if you want to paint your weathering strip white, because I can't find white weathering strip anywhere. So how you do your walls is you take a look at the distance here to the end of the wood. Remember, this track is divided to 3 pieces, not 2. So what I do is from the distance from here to there, that equals a turn. So I cut it, right? And then if I'm like over or / under, you could get away with cutting it and release this part right here, and then go from this end right here, and then just work your way around the turns right here. And as you see, I'm a bit too short, but that's okay. But make sure your turns is like precise and too. And just follow like the end of the black Sharpie line as well, in case if you're running into. And then just nicely seal, and that's how you do the weathering strip for the track. Alright, so I don't have the walls completed yet, but here's the thing. I'm making pit road right now, because pit road involves the walls here. So I have 3 cars. So here is Kyle Busch 2010 Interstate Batteries. This one's it's kind of a little bit beat up, but at the same time it doesn't look beat up. That's one of them. The other one's Ryan Newman's U.S. Army car, and then the last one is Joey Logano's 2010 car. And there's like a bunch of chips on that car. So depending how big you want pit road, then and also for the marks too, you grab the handy dandy correction tape. Take a look how big that measurement is compared to the car. So that also helps too. And like that right there. And then now you don't have to make a mark or anything. What you need to do next is you grab your weathering strip and then, then you just paste it on the track. So put it here. All right, here we go. So now you get to put your weathering strip right next. I don't want that stuck in Logano right there. You want to put your measuring strip right here, all the way till the end of the track. Well, hopefully this didn't. Make sure it's straight too. What's confusing is this annoying white piece of paper. Really shows. You want this thing straight. You don't want this to be curved or anything. So you want to keep it straight. Make sure they're straight as possible. Here, and then to the end right here. To the end right here. Make sure it's straight. And like that. Cut it. And then there you go. Oh, it did. Okay, it did. And then all you need to do is release it. Make sure it's straight again. You don't want to make sure it's wonky. Or a way is you could have Logano hit the wall. It'll come to you. And there you go. And that's how you do the pit road walls. And then what's next is do the pit road markings. So right here is the entrance to pit road. Right here is the entrance to pit road. There it is. Okay. Right here is the entrance to pit road. You want to draw your correction tape here to here. Make sure it shows. Hardest thing is sometimes you'll hit this, so you want to make sure it's from end to end. So that's the entrance to pit road. Okay, and then after that, grab your car and then draw lines to it. And from that mark to all the way where Logano is will be pit road. A little mistake I did is that there's no entrance to the garage area, but that's okay because I don't really use well, maybe I'll open it, but for me I like to keep it closed for now because it's thick, the weathering strip's thick, so I made a mistake. You could cut your weathering strip to make sure the garage is open. Either that or I'm gonna have the garage right here, which is new. Right here, like how they do in Martinsville. And that's about the creativity I have. So the pit road is where Ryan Newman is, and then just line it up here. And go well here, and then right where his splitter is, you want to mark it all the way to the end. And that's how you do pit boxes. I know there's a little gap, and I could fix that right now. There you go. That's how you do the pit boxes. And you repeat the process all the way to the end. And just like that, the track is almost done. All I need to do is add the track markings and logos, and your NASCAR stop motion track is complete. And all you need to do is do the stop motion, stay motivated, and start editing. And there you go, it's uploaded. So this track took, well, it's about to be 3 days. So depending on your schedule, you could get away by making this in 1 day or 2 days or 3 days. Just how consistent you are. It's all it is about time and consistency. Alright, and now you're here with your final steps. All you need to do is add your logos. See, I have my two track logos here. And for the supplies you need some scissors. You can have the little kitty scissors if you want. Just make sure it could cut straight. And also, do not use Elmer's glue because that's how you get your fingers sticky a lot. What I use is paper glue, and it's better than Elmer's glue because you don't have to use your hands to do something like this, for example. I'm not a fan of doing that. Instead, I like just spraying it and then just pasting it on the wall. So here's an example of it. Take that out. Make sure it has enough energy here. Put it on your track logo. Okay, there it is. It's harder to do it on camera. Put it on your track logo. And then see if it fits where I want it. Alright, and then you want to put it where you want it. So I'll put it right here. Just let it dry. Don't press it too hard, then that's how you get wrinkles. And there you go. That's how you add the track logos, and I'll show you my final project on my NASCAR track. So here is Candlestick Park, and it's an amazing track by me. I really like how it's the old ISM layout and style, and I really like the old raceway start finish line and the whole track layout. Um, I really like how I added the grass here. I know it's not like perfect, but hey, I added something that's really cool instead of having it black everywhere. Added a little characteristic to the track here. And I really like how I solved that this is going to be the garage entry, and then this is where the cars will be going out for practice. And I really like how the start finish line is now red and black instead of plain black and white, and then there's like a little more color to it. And yeah, this is how you build a NASCAR track. Thank you guys so much for watching with this tutorial. Hopefully it works out. I can't wait to see your NASCAR track. I want to see how creative you guys are going to be. But anyways, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys later.